Lunacy by Joe Fury. It's madness.
I'm gonna get myself a modem. 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 I'm gonna get myself a modem.
All right, we have a question from the hummingbirds right off the top. Ginny Sykes is here. Ginny Sykes is going to be on the show on Tuesday for the contest. We do a show at noon where we just do crazy contests, crazy stuff. Ginny's going to be there with, of course, my co-host, Mama J. Some people call her Jay Patterson, which is her given name. But I call her Mama J. That's what they called her on the Netflix show, The Trust, where she became famous. How cold is that water, Joel? Where were you? Well, that was Joe Fury, and he was in Mexico, so he was, wasn't that cold. Behind me, I have some hummingbirds. People love hummingbirds. The ones behind me are fake, of course, and they're starting to really bother me because their wings are not moving fast enough. I don't know what's wrong with them. So here we go. I gotta plug this show. I'm doing a show with Guy Reuben on the 30th. It's a Wednesday night, 8 p.m. So those of you that want to get your laughter on a Wednesday night at the Ice House, I promise, well, I can't promise, but when they say Ice House, they don't mean the people that come and round you up and disappear you. So hopefully they won't be there. The Ice House is something completely different, old school comedy place. It's like a comedy, I don't know, Disneyland over there. So come on by, 8 p.m. Go to joelmarshall.com to buy tickets. Hoy, Kamala Lopez is here. Bronwyn is a genius. Yes, she is a genius. That's my guest today, Bronwyn Watson. Kamala and I and Jeff Lohman, and we went over to Glendale, to the Glendale Room, to see something called Lady Parts last Saturday. I think I was talking about it on the show if you were here. And we saw Ginny Sykes do her hilarious bits, but we also saw Bronwyn Watson, who is like, I can't even describe her. She is like an enigma. She is like a puzzle to be solved. She is like an Andy Kaufman-esque performer, bordering on, dare I say it, clown. She's a genius in her own right. Anyway, she's on the show. We're lucky enough to have her on the show today. Detective Twatson is her Instagram account. Lady Bits is the show. Did I not say Lady Bits? I think I better say that. There's a thing here where I can even show you the flyer for last week's show. But, there will be other ones. That was the flyer. Lady Bits. Emily Vocal is the host. She's hilarious. It's a nice little spot, little space. It's fun. It's fun stuff. Ginny Sykes says she's like Maria Bamford on speed. That's a good description. I like that. I thought Maria Bamford was on speed. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Howard says, can't wait. Yes, I can't wait to get into this either. I want to say thank you to the Patreons. Of course, we can't do the show without Patreons. Now that they've taken away the funding from NPR and some other things, how the hell are we going to fund things? This is the way, Patreons. Until we can get ourselves back into some social services, we're going to have to provide them ourselves. So go to patreon.com/Joel Marshall and just, spend away. Just donate away. You can say $5 a month. You say 2 cents a month. I don't know. $10,000 a month would probably get us on Netflix or something. So thank you to all these Patreons. Love you guys, gals, and everything in between. On Tuesday, we do a contest. We do a contest and it's really fun and we give away cash. This Tuesday we're going to be giving away $45. Can you believe it? Usually we give away $15, but it's paid forward for the last couple of ones. And Mama J is writing the quiz this week with her friend Joyce. Should be interesting. Should be really interesting. So come on by Tuesday afternoons at noon, every Tuesday afternoon at noon on our YouTube channel, Joel Marshall. All right, that's enough shameless plugs. Let's breathe. Every show we breathe. Some people think it's namby-pamby, but I think breathing is actually good for you. That's what I think. And behind me, and it might be controversial, I don't know, how many non-breathers do we have out there? You'll have to take it up with me in the comments. By the way, make a comment on the show. Comments are very welcome. Also in the chat room, while it's live, you can say all kinds of crazy things, try and knock us off our pins. You can say, like, Joel's not asking the right questions. You can say, talk about your latest ailments. Whatever you want to do in the chat room, please do. I can put them on the screen. Let's take a breath. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. Behind me is Healing Vibrations. They are from Seattle. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. They have another channel called Tibetan Vibrations. That's where this one is. In through the nose, out through the toes. Let it go. I feel better. I don't know about y'all, but hopefully no one was closing their eyes while driving. It's always a problem. Musical therapy. Here we go. Guest today is a big musician. She plays the ukulele, many other things, guitar. This is a handpan player who also involves the drum. Mr. Vasilis V. Dance him if you got him. You do like one of these things? You want. Not while driving though. We're gonna have some driving advice on the show too today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess in the green room getting all crazy with Boney. She likes the headphones. Can't wait to put her on. Okay. Get centered. Boney going into Interview Friday. Oh, my mic is very low. Is it? Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kamala, for that. Let me know as we go along. Might be because I was like out here like dancing. That'll do it sometimes. Can't move too much in the podcasting. Podcasting is very stationary, solitary life. It's so sad, so sad. That's why you should probably donate at patreon.com/JoelMarshall. Pay for the therapy, you know? The therapist needs some therapy. This is not a, this is a therapeutic show, but this is unlicensed therapy. It's just totally off the leash, off the chain, as they might call it. My guest today is off the chain, some might say. Off the leash, off the meds, I don't know. She's like off the wall, maybe just off. It's great, you know? It's great being off when you're a comedian, because that's the profession. Hoy. We say hoy on this show instead of hi. I don't know why. I don't know why. Okay. Get it together, Marshall. You got Bronwyn on the show. She's waiting to be on the show, and you won't stop talking. Finding deep truths is what my guest does today. She finds deep truths through being an artist, a scientist, a philosopher, a vegan chef, a comedian, and, my dear Watson, a detective. My dear Twatson, as she says. Yeah, she was at the Lady Parts in Glendale. She's what she's done shows, at all the venues, all the great venues. She hails from the great state of Washington, as do I, and as does Boney and Joe Fury and all kinds of people on the show. Todd Lee comes to mind. All right, let's get into this thing. Bronwyn Watson, Interview Friday. This will only happen once in your lifetime, that you'll be on lunch therapy, unless it happens again, which could happen. Lady Bits. Lady Bits.
Lady Bits.
Lady Parts
Exactly. Thank you, Kamala.
Boy, Todd.
I want to know what it's like on the other side, because what the fuck is happening here? There's so much weird shit that's happening on the planet that this is okay. I'm easily overstimulated. I get distracted a lot. Attention's weird. None of this is what I have written down. Right. I'm Bronwyn. Hi, my name's Bronwyn. Pronounced Bronwyn. I'll say it together. 1, 2, 3. Bronwyn. I did. I just came. Thank you. Thank you. So Bronwyn, my parents totally lied to me about what it means. Growing up, they were like, Bronwyn means white blossom, white blossom. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. In first grade, we all had to look up what our name means and share it with the class. We all found out Bronwyn actually means white bosom. Or white-breasted. Not wrong. So that's, anyone else, parents lie to them growing up?
Yes.
Right. Tradition, right? Tradition.
Bronwyn Watson, welcome to Lunch Therapy. Fellow thespian. It's great to have you.
Hello, fellow thespian.
Hello.
Hello, hummingbirds, thespians, thespians, has-beens.
Has-beens. Has-beens. I was a thespian, now I'm a has-been.
Now he's a has-been now. Yeah, oh my God. So that you guys, one of my jokes, but also a story about the first time I heard the word thespian was in one of the musicals that our town was putting on. I was 11 or 12 or something. Thespian. They're like, anyone who does anything in theater. And I immediately, though, was like, it sounds like theater lesbian. Immediately. And I can't, I'm like, I can't, how does not everybody make that joke? Immediately. Anyway, yes.
I loved your
Hello.
performance the other night. It was so great.
Thank you.
I'm like, what planet is she from? I'm not sure. You know what I mean? I'm like, this that came in. First of all, that show, Lady
Bits.
Parts.
No, it's Lady Bits. I know. Lady Parts feels like
Lady Parts is a movie. It's a movie that I saw 2 weeks ago. It's a great movie, by the way. It's an independent film. Lady Bits is a show in Glendale, at the Glendale.
Yes.
How often does
if
that
you
happen?
think about it is a monthly show that Emily does usually, and if it makes any difference, it's like comics and comedians have bits, right?
Yeah.
So it's all Lady Bits.
Oh,
I know he's never gonna forget now.
The multi-layers of the name of the show, and I didn't even get it.
That's all good. All good.
Todd Lee is here.
Thank you for being here. Hoity. Hey, hummingbirds. So amazing, of course, that it's hummingbirds that you have.
Why is that?
Okay, well, I'll share this little story about how my dad's mother, my grandmother, had this front porch or like solarium slash greenhouse as like where she kept all of the plants during the winter, during the cold months. And
Yes.
hummingbirds would get in there all the time and get trapped and get stuck in that room and not be able to make their way back out the front door. So she would regularly grab hummingbirds and like hold them and take them and like capture and release them back outside very regularly. And so hummingbird gifts and like things were always associated with her. And of course, after she died in 2018, there was just an overwhelming amount of just almost everybody saying, "Oh, my dead grandparents or whoever like comes to visit me as a hummingbird," and I'm like, "Not me, also." Like, gee, okay, just everybody's got grandparent hummingbirds flying around,
That's right.
but
I think that's how they keep an eye on us. Of
I do
course,
too.
you've seen the movement, right? Birds aren't real. Did you?
Yeah, oh yeah, I love
Yeah.
that.
So that
Also,
might be
I do
surveillance.
have this running conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. I believe this.
Yeah.
All consciousness is connected, and that includes conscious creatures like birds and insects, everything that has a consciousness that is alive and can move, even trees. Like, anyway, so our consciousness, if we're aware enough or open enough, we can all other consciousness beings that were alive before can also communicate with us while we're alive through whatever it is that we're seeking communication through.
Wow. I got a lot of questions about that because I've been thinking,
Okay.
the other day I was out walking with my wife and I was kind of like, you believe in the afterlife, right? I was kind of thought she was going to be like, of course I do. And she was like, nope. And I was like, what? And she's like, you don't believe
Interesting.
that you think after we die, we're just going to be gone? And she's like, yep.
Mm.
I mean, maybe that was the mood she was in that day. I don't know.
Yeah.
And, she's half Indian. I'm like, don't you, reincarnation and all that. There's thousands of years of tradition of this idea of reincarnation. She
Mm.
said, I believe that we're energy and we, like on White Lotus, they said we're a drop that floats up. As the waves crash, we dance around for a minute and then we go back
Yeah.
into the ocean.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you're talking about. I don't know. What is this consciousness? Is it an
A little bit.
individual, like a point of view consciousness, or is it just, it's all part of the ocean?
It's all, I do feel very oceanish. Yes, it is very all part of the ocean. And like that also, all water is connected, is the other thing that I believe. Like, I do believe very much that all, and like matter, like all of the matter that we are made of, which is water and stardust, right? Like it's all of it has been recycled through time. And then consciousness is this extra layer of whatever is going on in our thoughts. You know what I mean? Like whatever in our dreams, like whatever all of that actually is the ocean that is outside of this physical realm. Does that, yeah,
Are you tripping right now? I'm
no.
just kidding. I'm totally kidding. No, we're all molecules. And apparently, when people like take acid or whatever, they start to
Mm,
see how it's all molecules and it's all connected, matrix style. Kamala says the
yeah.
rest is wishful thinking from the perspective of the tiny individual ego mind.
Mm,
Todd says, I think Dangly Bits, Joel, male version. There should be a show called
nice.
Dangly Bits. I guess
Dangly
Todd
Bits
Lee is going to
sounds like
start that.
also, I have to say, the male version is already comedy.
Right, right. Yeah,
You
that
don't
was kind
need
of
to have.
refreshing to go to a show where it was all women. And it also had a different
Right?
kind of, shall I say, feel to it.
Well, yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
what is different about a group of women, just and no men? Like the other day, I went to the fourth wall; it was all dudes,
yep,
and that happens a lot. But there's a totally different energy when there's all guys, and there's a totally different energy when it's all women.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's also physiologically because we don't have the same experience in this world.
Yeah,
Like walking around as men, you don't have the same experience that women have walking around this world. So, of course, the energy is going to be different if somebody is there that doesn't share your perspective at all. And then if everybody there shares your perspectives and you're like, oh, okay, great. We can all get it. We all understand what's going on. We've all experienced this. There's
yeah,
more of a collection of understanding.
that's interesting. Now, how do you think the oh, Jenny says our periods were all in sync on that show? Yes,
Totally.
I imagine so. So it was sort of like that. Well, when you say a totally different experience, you think women have a completely different experience than men do? Like, you think it's that
Well,
drastically different?
I would say yes. I actually am going to bring this, for instance, up. This happens, for example, I dislike walking close to people I don't know. And this has been a thing since before the pandemic. I don't like, because I've been traumatized and bullied by people, and like growing up in high school, I avoided people specifically because of not wanting to be talked to and harassed by men, by
Mhm.
boys, really.
Yeah.
And so now to this day, even yesterday, I asked, okay, well, like I asked the coffee shop that I go to if they could move the chair from directly right next to the front door, because I get triggered walking through the front door because there's some dude sitting there that's millimeters away from the door. Thinking about it right now, like I'm like have to calm myself down because I don't like being close to people who I assume it's all a threat. I assume everyone's a threat. Unless I know you're not and can tell you're not, you are a threat. So I'm walking through, I'm like, even now I have to like calm my nervous system down. And just like remind myself that like nothing's wrong, like I'm totally fine. There's nobody that could potentially do something to me, because
Mhm.
like I have had weird, random like dudes lunge at me, and
Really?
like I've been assaulted with like my bag has been snatched from me.
Oh,
So like like I've
yeah.
experienced being in public very differently than men have. And I feel
Mhm.
like most women do have that nervous system is going, like we're on a full alert. I mean, a lot of women, maybe not all of us, but like, just so you know,
Yeah.
yeah, I
That
don't
makes
think most
sense.
men, yeah,
That's why I feel like sometimes women, when they're like at the fourth wall and there's all dudes and one woman, they put on a kind of persona
yeah,
of toughness or vulgarness
a
just
shield.
as a shield. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be what's so interesting about going to a show where it's all women is they've got their shield down a little bit, a little bit.
Totally.
I mean, I was there
Yes.
sitting in the middle, judging.
Yeah.
Toddley says basic human instinct is that strangers are a threat. You're not alone.
Exactly.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I wonder how many of us have experienced random assaults on the street. And I feel like every single woman will probably say yes.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of men will also say yes. And again, well, I'm going to blame men. You're the reason. You're the
Men
reason.
are doing the
There's a bunch of,
assaulting.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
That and
So,
the peanuts. Isn't that the
um,
joke? One was assaulted. No, the peanuts are getting
oh,
assaulted.
yeah.
Terrible
That
joke that
was,
I don't even
it's
know why I brought it up, but it's a comedy show, so we
not
have to
great, but
always
it's all good.
refer to comedy.
You got to put as many jokes in there as you
Got to throw them
can,
in
right?
there. Kamala says,
Yeah.
sometimes when Joel and I are walking somewhere, I am very aware of threats around us, and Joel is not aware of them at all. That's right.
Yeah.
But I'm sort of
Yeah.
an unaware person. I'll be in our
And
house. Like, this
that's,
is my wife. I'll be in our house and I'll be like, oh, I didn't know that was there. You know, I've lived here for 25 years.
I have to say, that's not a good sign to me. That's kind of a bad sign. You're not aware. I'm like, but also I have to say myself, a lot of things I become unaware of as well.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it just,
sometimes if you're focused, I mean, I don't think this is true, but I'm going to try and argue it. If you're
focus.
really focused, everything else kind of falls away. You know how it is when
Yep.
you're really in the
Yep.
zone, everything just falls away.
Exactly. And well, I mean, that's the thing, is focus is our power. That's the power that all of us have.
Yeah.
What we decide to focus on will grow, and it will literally and we'll just essentially zoom in so close to it that everything else is gone.
It's so
So,
true. It's so true. I
yeah,
find that with people that I bring on my show. Like, I'm
nice.
focused on you right now, and it, you know what I mean. My awareness is completely about that, and
Mm-hmm.
and you know, it's a different experience than just meeting people. Like, you know how people talk about networking. You go to a party,
Yeah.
you're supposed to network, and people think that's like, here's my card, here's my card, here's my card. It is
Okay.
really, if you want to meet people, you got to spend the time with one person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe at a party, somebody told me that one time. They were like, because I was like, I hate going to Hollywood parties and stuff like that. And they were like, just talk to one person and that's it. I mean,
Yeah.
say hi to people, be social or whatever. But if you meet
Yeah.
one person and really have a conversation, that's much more valuable than here's my card, and then people pull up the card and they're like, whose card is this? Or you
I don't
find it
remember
like
talking
on
to
the
that person at all.
you find
Yeah.
it on the ground as you're going out.
Right. I never really, you know what, now that you're telling me about this being the trick, it seems like a trick or a hack for networking. Cause
Mhm.
like, like, I don't understand networking. I understand it, but I'm like, what are you supposed to do? Like, how does it work? And I'm like, I just have to say, that explained it. I'm like, yeah, just talk to one person. Maybe,
Yeah.
I mean, if you feel like you want to talk to another person, talk to them too. But like,
Yeah.
just talk to one.
You can do
Duh.
that. You can do that.
I can. That's a totally achievable goal.
Yeah.
Also, yes, your mic is a little bit
Is
low.
it really? Oh my gosh. I wonder
A
what's
bit
going on.
skis.
How's it
Or did
now?
you just, yeah, I think
Is
that's
it
better.
pretty
I
good?
also moved my headphones. I don't know if that made a
Sometimes
difference.
I'm
I can,
yelling on the show. And so I try to make sure I'm
uh,
not screaming.
I
But it's good to have the hummingbirds because they can tell me. Todd says, I
thank you.
think it doesn't matter if you're male or you're female. We're
We
all
are, yeah.
fear-based. That's how we present ourselves to the fear. Goes back to the beginning of civilization, hunter-gatherers, our monkey
Interesting.
minds. Yeah, but
That's
I do
funny
think
though.
that women are a little more vulnerable than men are.
100%. I'm like, I'm carrying around way more trauma and memories of that through my literal lived experience.
That's the
So
thing.
I just have to say, like, the layers of how thick the shield ends up getting
Yeah.
is not the same. Like, I feel like
Yeah, I
women's
don't think it
shields
is
have
either.
to be a lot heavier slash thicker. And I understand we're all fear-based. I understand, like, uh, okay, it's funny that he says like that it's from the beginning of our civilization. I'm reading this book, and this is something that I want to talk about to
Okay.
everybody.
All right,
I'm
let's
like,
hear.
we did not start as like warring, like fighting, survival of the fittest. Like we didn't start off like that with each other. As a human culture, we started off worshiping a goddess because we knew that everybody came out of one,
Mm,
and
yeah.
you came in one, so you came out of one. You
Yeah.
came in and came out. Men came in a woman and then came out of a woman.
Oh
And
yeah,
like they
you
were like,
said that.
we
It's like,
gotta,
yeah,
yes,
you
we
said
gotta
that.
protect. Yes, that's
I
the
like
joke.
it.
The
I
part of the
like it.
joke is that.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we like had in the Neolithic era, so like pre anyway, I need to look up the exact dates for the BCE or whatever, but in old Europe, like old fucking Europe, there was a time period of like millennia, like 1500 years of just like a bunch of art being made, like people living in like the lushest, most fertile, most beautiful places all around Europe. There weren't any artifacts found that were war. There was no art that was also made of like fighting and stuff. It was all about rituals and regular, like baking bread was a big motif that they saw in a lot of artwork. There's no war that actually ended up happening until like um closer to I can't I'm still reading this book. It's called
Yeah.
The Chalice and the Blade. I don't have that book with me. I
Don't
love
worry,
show and tell.
Boney will get the thumbnail or
Yes.
whatever.
But yeah, The Chalice and the Blade, Our History, Our Future. And it's by a systems scientist, a doctor from
Boney,
UCLA,
Boney's got it.
actually.
He's got it. He's got it.
Oh, yes,
Put it on the
yes,
screen,
yes,
Boney.
yes.
There we
Yeah,
go.
put that up. Fuck yeah.
There it
Fuck yeah.
is.
So that little figurine, that picture, they found thousands of those figurines. They found so many surplus of goddess figurines in every single one of the buildings that they excavated, like all the archaeological artifacts that are from that time period
Yeah.
are all like artsy fartsy, like shit that seems ceremonial.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all again very much in observance of goddess culture and work, and like we all took care of each other. And I
Mm-hmm.
just want us to also remember Turtle Island, North America, so-called North America, so-called United States, so-called Canada, which was before the European invasion, was this type of culture. It was all, everybody was collective, collaborative. We all worked together. Nobody was in fear of each other. No one was in fear of each other.
I do that too. I do a comic bit about that too, where I'm like, and it doesn't go over as comedy a lot of times, but I say,
Right.
you know, there were people living here for 30,000 years, and the Europeans came over, and they didn't like their government. They didn't like the way things were going on in Europe. They came over here, instead of going, hey, how do you guys do it? Show us your secrets. They just mowed them over. They just
Yep.
plowed them over. It was our country was founded on genocide. And it's like, we had so much to learn. I say we, I mean, I wasn't there,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean.
I do know what you, yes, I 100% know what you mean. The other thing I wanted to bring up and ask, maybe have you seen, I love John Leguizamo. Have
Yeah,
you
he's
seen
great.
his one-man show, his history of the United
I
States?
haven't. I would love to see it. I
Oh,
wonder if is it on like Netflix or
Netflix.
something? Okay,
It's
I gotta
on
check
I
it out.
mean, I watched
remember
it
when
on
it was
Netflix.
downtown and I never got a chance to get there.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. He's one of my absolute faves, has
Yeah.
been for a long time. And that one really, really helped me solidify the shift of like, oh yeah, fuck the European invasion of Turtle Island. Like, fuck
Yeah.
the United States. I'm really not a fan of what we've been doing since the beginning.
Yeah.
So
I was like,
yeah.
people are like, why does everybody hate us? I'm like, well, from the very beginning, we've been jerks.
Yeah.
And it's not just happening now. I mean, obviously we're being colossal jerks right
Yeah.
now.
Mhm.
If I speak of the country as we.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, technically you can. Yeah.
We are
We know it's
colossal
not all of us.
assholes. And with glimpses of generosity. But
It's all a show. It's just smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
It's all politics is theater.
yeah, it is theater. Speaking of theater,
Mm.
coming from theater
Oh
to,
yeah,
to
yeah.
Los Angeles, I think you went via Seattle, a theater
Mhm.
person.
Yes.
Do you think the motivation of a theater actor, a theater trained actor, is correct for Hollywood?
I do. I do.
Yeah,
I do. I will say specifically to me, if you don't have theater training, you are not doing the acting world service. You should be practicing theater regularly. That's how all of this started, was through acting on stage, knowing what, okay, Greek theater, some of my favorite shit, like the old theater shit from like where
Cones.
you had these masks that were
Yeah.
so fucking big, and you had festivals that were going for 3 fucking months,
Yeah.
and you have like these crazy long like chorus monologues together. Anyway, I'm just saying you need to know what you're doing as an actor. And if you're not diving into theater again, like the history of where your profession came from, what are you doing? Like,
Well,
what are you doing?
you have the chance to stand on the shoulders of all this history if you know about what it is.
Yeah.
Do you think though, I'm just wondering, like,
Mm.
I mean, I came here as an actor from doing Shakespeare and multiple theatrical endeavors
Nice.
for the sheer purpose of doing them and sharing them with people and going through a communal experience. And then when you hit Los Angeles, it's like a different world. Was that a shock for you when you came here? And how did you deal with it, or how do you think people should deal with it?
Well, I think that the biggest thing that how people should deal with it is you need to listen to what your intuition's telling you. You really need to be able to listen to where feels good for you to be and where just kind of feels off. If it feels off, don't keep going there. Stop going there. Like,
Have you
go
had that
somewhere.
experience where you go someplace and you
Yeah.
just spend time
Okay.
there, and after a while you're like, what am I doing?
So yes, there's a series of things that have happened like that for me. Okay, so I like majored in theater, was in a lot of theater production when I was in college, and then when I moved here to LA, it was super easy to get swept up in not doing anything, and also just doing thank you, Kamala. It does make right. So okay, so I got swept up in like not doing anything for my theater stuff. And so finally, after being so like I got to a place of desperation where I was like, I need to do something, just anything. And then I got accepted into this theater company that I thought was really wonderful, but there was a lot of things that like from the very beginning felt toxic and just kind of gross and kind of weird. But I was like, no, you know what? I need to be doing something for myself in theater. I'm finally somewhere where I convinced myself that this was a good place. I was there for 5 years. I overworked myself. Like got into not like I got burnt out really badly. And also was not and told to get therapy also. I was
really?
told to stop being yes. I was a box office manager of this theater company. And that's the other thing. I chose to step in to a position that I hated. I did not like being a box office man. I
I'm
hated
also
doing
a
all of
former
it.
box office manager. I was a box
That's
office manager
amazing.
at Steppenwolf Theater.
Oh,
That's what that was kind of my, I'm not going to, I'll tell you about that later.
yeah.
You tell me about it.
Wild. But no, my God. Okay, no, my God. So like there's like several things that happened. So my boss got like a freaking girlfriend from abroad, like from Romania, and brought her back as the marketing manager or something. And then she started calling all the shots for my job.
Oh, no.
And I was like,
no.
you know what? I'm going to step down. I'm stepping down. I'm not going to I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm going to end at this time. And they were like, actually, Bronwyn, what if you ended now instead of in a month? What if you just ended now and you just did therapy and we paid you and we like got you your your unemployment and like all of that. I was like, okay, thanks. But then like over the course of the next 4 to 6 months, there was like a whole bunch of just strange, I knew people were talking about me behind my back and lying to my face. Like I could feel
That
it.
is the
I could
worst
feel
feeling.
something. Yeah.
That's a horrible feeling. So isolating and also it's gaslighting. And it's also, I was just watching a video the other day about narcissistic tendencies, and they just had a bunch of phrases that people say, like, are you all right? I don't know. I don't know if you're okay. Maybe you need some therapy, where they just kind of turn it on you like that. No, it's not that they just pulled in some lady to be my boss who doesn't have any experience and is now telling me what to do. That's not what it is. It's that I need therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just a way to control people.
Exactly. But my favorite part is though that like I ended up getting kicked out of this cult. It was a theater cult. It's a whole theater cult, you guys. It was like if anyone has ever heard of the ESP Nixium, the Nixium cult that happened in New York, that they made the documentary The Vow
that was an amazing documentary.
Oh my God. So I got kicked out of this theater cult in 2019, and then I watched The Vow in 2020, and I was like, this is what was happening to me. Like I was like, that was my Nixium.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how happy I am. And like I brag about the fact that like, yes, I got kicked out of a cult. They couldn't control me. They couldn't tell me what to do.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, thank you. And literally, there were so many cases where the artistic fucking director, this bitch, I don't like, I shouldn't say I hate him, but like he's one of the worst types of people. The artistic director of this company goes around acting like he's, it's kind of like Bernie Sanders. Kind of like Bernie Sanders, like, oh, we're totally for you, but actually,
like Bernie Sanders.
Acts like everything's like he's going to do everything good for the people, but then is 100% paid off by people above him to say whatever the fuck that they want him to say. And is a narcissist and sexist and has like had sex with a bunch of the people in the company. Anyway,
Todd wants to know, did you get a brand before you quit? I don't think they have brands.
Oh my God, thank God. No. Jeez, I know. I can't. I like the. I just has. If any listeners have not watched The Vow, watch The Vow. I think it's Ginny. Ginny, have you watched The Vow?
I'm
Watch it.
sure she has. The
Right.
the thing is, I think. Do you think actors are more susceptible to cults? Because I feel like we are. We're
I
so susceptible because we're just so open to any kind of possibility, and we're trained to be
yes.
very outright with
Agreeable.
and agreeable, and also open to sharing our history, sharing our experiences, and open emotionally and all this stuff. And it's
Yep.
just
That's one of
you're just
okay.
ripe for these cults.
You guys, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you one of the fucking things that they do in this cult to wear people out. It's basically so emotional dysregulation slash swinging from one extreme emotion to the other is a way of basically getting people's regulate like nervous system to be dysregulated enough so that you're influent yeah, you can be more easily influenced and susceptible to essentially like kind of brainwashing or whatever because you're going through so many different things. So this theater company practices every single acting like time you're on stage to be happy, sad, afraid, or angry to 1,000%.
Oh
And it
no.
has to be one of those. It has to be clearly one of those.
Is
It's
that an acting
so
technique? I never even heard of that.
that's the acting technique that they use. I mean,
Wow.
the
Yeah.
style
The
is
style.
what they use. And I'm
Mhm.
just like, you guys are making up your own language, which is classic cult.
Yeah.
Classic cult.
Classic cult.
God,
I
yeah.
love that.
So it's yeah, and they do series of classes and get new students like every quarter.
Well,
You
when these
know, it's
places
a
get a reputation like they have, and especially if there's somebody famous that's attached to it, that's one of the things about theater. One of the things that became difficult for me in theater is that they're star fuckers too.
yeah,
Um, and that's kind of startling when because you go into theater as kind of a purist art form, and then you
yeah,
realize that they're the people who are getting the lead parts are like star in a soap opera or something. You know what I mean? Like, and you're like,
yep,
what? And I understand you got to put butts in the seats is essentially it, but also the members of the actors in the theater company want to be like that person who might be leading
yeah,
it, and so they will
yeah.
do anything they can for that person because that person has what they want.
Which I get, but I also am like, but you don't, but like, don't you want something for yourself and not like trying to get what someone else has? Like, are you, there's something that I don't understand with that thought process. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. Todd's
She's
saying that
being
I'm a cult
interviewed
leader.
by
She's
you
saying
are
that I'm a
total.
cult
I
leader.
also want to say I also want to say like I'm also a cult leader. It's
We're all
okay.
cult leaders, of course. That's why we're so susceptible to it because we're budding cult leaders.
It's so crazy. Like speaking of cult leader, okay, so I met someone in this theater company too who was
Yeah.
legitimately in. Do you know the Source family, like the Aquarians? Have you heard of them?
No, I can't wait to find out about them. That
Mhm.
sounds very
So
interesting. I love
just
these
another.
stories. Some people like true crime. I love cult stories. I just
I do too.
love
Oh, I
them.
love. Do you know that Mother God one?
Oh
What was
yeah,
that? Like,
yeah.
yeah, that one where they had her drinking how much colloidal silver?
Yes, until she turned all gray. I mean, and then she died. And then that
Yeah,
was I
they
mean, I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but that's a really good
that one's good.
documentary
Yeah.
too, because it's like,
Oh,
what the hell? She
the
died?
cult of Mother God, and I think that yeah. Also, the vow. They are the second sequel of it or whatever,
Yeah,
where they're talking about the Nixium Five, where there are still, even though the dude
yeah.
is in jail, everyone
There's
admitted to
still
it. There's still five of them so dedicated and
that's
devoted
just
to
what
him.
goes to show you, because that's why we look at cults. There are similar, very large cults going on right now. Where we're like,
Oh my,
how can they be doing that? Why? It's against their own interest. What the hell are they doing? And they still go. And no matter what
one
you
of
put in front of them, like, look at this, look at this. Clearly,
yeah, yeah.
how many times you show somebody dancing with an overbite, white man's overbite, and you don't think he's a creep. I'm like, you don't. What do we need to do to prove to you? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, how can we get through? How can we get through? But also, like, I just, you You have to be soft. You can't be like forceful. I've watched a lot of
Oh,
cult
deprogramming or
documentaries
whatever,
and
where
stuff.
the people
Yeah,
come out of the
yeah,
cult. I mean,
yes.
you know too that when you're in that kind of a situation, when you finally decide to pull yourself away from it, you have to go through your thoughts going, is this my thought or is this their thought? You know what I mean? You
Exactly.
really have to like weed through because you've gotten
Yeah.
so enmeshed in that culture. And then your
I
friends are there. And it's just a very
mm,
difficult. I can see why they deprogram.
exact.
Kamala says Shia LaBeouf had an acting cult and there's Doc coming out. Yes. I want to
Oh, I'm
see that.
excited.
I really want to
He
see
came
that.
to my theater company a couple of
Did he?
times.
He's
Shia
intense,
did.
that
Yeah.
guy. He's intense.
Yeah. There was, yeah.
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 Oh man. The Source Family. Yes. Oh my God. It's so, yeah, the Source Family
Wow.
album or documentary that I
Yeah.
watched, I think is on Amazon or something, which also I can't not tell you, you guys fuck Amazon. Like, I don't want us to be like, we should not be spending money on,
I know.
we should not be giving that guy any more of our
Matt
money.
Wright doesn't, the person who just chatted there, he
Yeah.
doesn't use Amazon at all. And I'm like, I aspire to that. But then here I am like, I wonder if my package is here, you know? My brother,
Yeah.
Ginny's brother was in the Osho cult. Yeah. The Wild Wild Country, which is another
Oh, wow.
fascinating thing. There's always, that one's super fascinating because there's a lot of like useful stuff that they teach. Like it's
Yeah.
very useful. And then it
What-
becomes a cult where they've got machine guns and they're poisoning the local salad bar and all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, I loved Wild Wild
I
Country.
love that documentary
That was
so
so good.
much.
Also, that's kind of Eastern Washington is where I'm from.
Mm.
And so it was like kind of close. And now that compound is a Young Life Christian,
Is
like it's
it?
a Christian youth retreat center now. Yeah.
Wow.
Which is wild. Also, one of the actors that I know from that theater company,
Uh-huh.
he and his mom went to go visit that compound when Osho
Really?
was still in charge there when all of the
It's so interesting. And yeah,
so
Jenny's
great.
brother, Rex Sykes, was on the show talking about it back in the day. Yeah. Yeah. It was really interesting. If any, I don't know
Amazing.
which number that one is, but if you look at the Rex Sykes early on in the 2020,
Thank
he
you.
talks about it. I also had an Osho follower, Agyat, who I met in India, who's a wonderful guy. He does a lot of Osho therapies. And
Oh,
he's
that's so
really, I have an
good.
interview with him on lunch therapy as well.
Awesome.
Matt
I want to bring up.
says, oh,
Oh,
wait,
yeah. What?
I just want to see what he said. It's okay. Your package can be there without Amazon. Okay. All
That's
right.
thank you, Matt. Thank you,
Thank you.
Matt. Yes,
Thank you.
it's so true. Remember, there was a time before Amazon,
There
and
was
our
a time.
packages still arrived.
Yes.
The US was
Just
bad. Yes,
watch.
the US. Oh my God.
The US was as bad as the cult.
Wow.
Yes.
Also, yeah, the US, I keep thinking about the Waco, Texas situation that happened. Waco, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like that cult was insane. There was a bunch of I watched a few dramatic retellings of it and then also a little documentary about it. But I was like, the government, yeah, our government is a cult. Our government is 100% a cult. All of the Pledge of Allegiance that we have, that we have public school kids, BT dubs. I stopped saying the Pledge of Allegiance as soon as I found out the Trail of Tears
Yeah.
was something that, and they taught us that in third grade. And
Mhm.
I stopped saying the Pledge of Allegiance because I was like, the government said this was okay. The government did this. Like, I
Yeah.
can't, I don't trust anyone here. I cannot trust this place. I'm going to bring up one of my other favorite cults,
Mhm.
where Warren Jeffs is the leader of the fundamentalist Latter-day Saints, and he's in jail. He was one of the
Oh.
most wanted, and he
Oh,
got
really?
picked up. Yeah, he got picked up outside of Las Vegas in a bright red Cadillac SUV, an Escalade with
Mhm.
like over $100,000 in cash on him, like a bunch, like he just had a bunch. It was Warren Jeffs is one of the most psychotic cult leaders ever, and he's so
Wow.
effective. The
Wow.
story about the fundamentalist Latter-day Saints, we call them the FLDSs.
Mhm.
Like it's so crazy. The whole town that they had, I can't remember the name of the town, but it was like on a border between Utah and fucking New Mexico or something. And it just keep sweet, pray, and obey. That is the name of the documentary. And they have it. Oh, yeah, all of his wives. Oh, my God. You have an acquaintance that was that's so crazy. Yeah, okay, I'm so curious. I'm so
Yeah.
curious
Yeah, to hear about that.
about this. But yeah, just Mormonism is all like religions, all religions are cults. The government is a cult. Once you understand more and more about what cults do to control people's thinking and how you do everything every fucking day, you understand
You start
that
to
like,
see them everywhere. You
yep,
do.
yep,
I know.
you
Well,
do.
the thing is, too, there seems to be an absolute power corrupts absolutely situation where there was actually a cult in New Hampshire where the guy started to realize he was an oppressive cult leader and quit. He actually
Oh,
realized it. And I've never seen, that's the only one that I've seen like that, where the person got absolute power and he was like telling people to do push-ups and, things like, penalties and all this stuff. And then he realized, and they had this
okay.
whole compound. And then one day he was like, wait a minute, I'm a horrible cult leader. And then there are other
Interesting.
situations where the people read the books of other cult leaders and said, I'm going to do this as well. I think Nexium was like that as well. I mean, from
I
the
feel like that
documentary.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Keith knew. Keith knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing.
He knows, and also like the theater director, the artistic director of this theater company, he knows
Yeah.
what he's doing.
Yeah.
He
Some
knows
people actually know. And we actually, yes, we as kind people cannot even believe that a person would want to do that.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I mean,
and want to have that kind of power over people and dominate people and
mhm.
and squash them like that or squeeze them for everything they're
You
worth.
better believe it.
But
You
they
better
literally want to do that.
yeah. Yeah.
And
I'm
I
like,
think
that's kind
I
of
think
the whole point.
we get into denial about it because they can't possibly be wanting that.
Okay, you
They
bring up a
do.
perfect thing. Denial is one of the okay, so that's what every marketing every business about marketing and cults know. Denial is one of our strongest muscles. We are not willing to believe things if they are too bad. If
They
they're
will
so
just show it
bad,
right to you.
we
And
don't want to
like,
believe. Yes, exactly. Right in front
oh,
of
that's
us.
fake
Right?
news. Oh, that's fake.
Yep.
That's a
Yep.
hoax.
Exactly.
Everybody knows that's a hoax. Well, it's right in front of your face.
Also, like the hoax of, how Trump got shot, his ear,
Yeah.
like that was all
Yeah.
staged. That was all staged.
I've been
And
watching
one of the
all
other,
kinds of stuff about that. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
I'm like,
unbelievable.
we have the other thing that I really appreciate about having a theater education is being able to clock when people are staging shit and also reciting lines.
Yes,
When people,
I had an experience with my mom when I was in theater school. She's wanted me to go to church, and I
Mm.
said with her, and I said, yeah, that's great. That's the ultimate theater. And she was
Yes.
so upset with me. I was like, everybody wears
I-
costumes. We all sit in the audience.
Yeah,
They put on a show.
is.
She was just livid with me.
I got in trouble. Oh my God. I said
I
something
didn't even
about
think that was
too,
a
and my parents didn't
controversial
like that.
thing. It just seems so obvious.
It is. It is obvious, but people are in
It's like there's
denial.
music and there's there's a
They have acts. There's a
lines,
script.
lines.
You read from a script. Yeah,
It's
it
so
is. I
great.
100% agree with you.
I said we
Like,
have
that was-
costumes. We have to wear certain clothes. Anyway,
we
it's
have to dress
obvious.
up.
It's
We have to
obvious.
put on, yes, we have to put on a show. And that's like, I do also, I have a joke about everything being witchcraft and
Yes.
just like, it's all like manipulation, how you can
That's
put
what I was
things
wondering
together. Like,
about.
it's,
That, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, church is the witchiest place. They are telling all of us, get dressed up, read these things, all of you together, say them all together, genuflect, like bow all together in the same thing at this specific time.
Yeah.
At this specific time, all of us together. And then you all have to eat something. And then you all have to eat something that you have to sing together too. And there's somebody telling you all to sing together. It's so witchy. It's so witchy. And so I'm Catholic, or grew up Catholic. So we
Did you?
have transubstantiation, which is the literal
Yes.
changing of the bread and wine into the body and blood of Jesus.
Really is Jesus'
Literal,
flesh.
really. And I'm like, that's the witchiest, most cannibalistic type thing you could tell us all to do. And
Yeah.
it's a cult, it's gaslighting. Like, what are we doing this for? What's the
Yeah.
point? And it is like a play. It's all dramatic as shit.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I
Yeah. And
love it.
there's lighting and it just, yeah, there's it's all a show and it's
Yeah.
all scripted out and it follows the lunar calendar, which I think is absolutely hilarious. The witchiest thing
I
to follow
feel
the
like
moon.
I'm kind of like of the school of if it makes you happy, do it. If it's destroying
Yeah.
your life, don't do it. But it's hard. Sometimes I think it's hard for people to tell. And it's hard.
It is.
And also
It
what
is.
I always say is they put you in a mind cage. And the cage is basically the only reason you want to leave is because you want to sabotage yourself. So in saying you don't
Oh,
want to be
yeah.
here, you're now sabotaging yourself. And that you need to look at that and figure out why you don't want to be a part of this. And so people,
Mhm.
you know, and also they get you in so that the cage is also all your friends are in there because the
Yeah.
more time you spend there, the more it becomes everybody you know.
Exactly. The isolating you from the rest of what
And also
the outside bubble.
we know this thing where they don't know that thing. So you can't
Yeah.
go out there because
Yes.
it's horrible out there because those people
Yes.
don't know what we know.
The use, I want to say, like, the use of fear to control is a really big indicator is if it's a bad cult or not. If
Yeah.
they are trying to use fear to control you, that's a red flag. That's
Yeah.
that's not a good cult.
Yeah, if you're
they're
afraid to leave, maybe
Mhm.
that's Matt says, don't forget about cookies and bad coffee and multi-spelling basement after the worship service. Yes, of course. I used to actually get a headache after church. And I'm not dissing on,
Oh,
I'm all for people going to church as long as it's not bad for them, or as long as it's not a cult situation, because I think people should have beliefs.
yeah.
I wish I still believed in Santa Claus. I like to believe in magic in the world, but
Me too.
I used to get a headache and maybe it was from the moldy basement and the
Could
cookies.
be
Could
be that. It could be that. I I hated having to wake up to go to
Oh
church.
my God,
Like
me too.
because we had a 9 a.m. service
Yeah,
and I've never been a morning person,
me
but
either.
like we also had to go to CCD, which I can't remember what stood for, like catechism, something teaching the children. I don't know.
I
It was
was
Sunday
so
school.
jealous of my fellow Catholics. I was
Ah,
raised Methodist, and ours was kind of boring. They had
I liked
CCD
yours.
on Wednesdays. They had a basketball league. They had all this
Oh,
stuff going on, and we just had the moldy cookies in the basement.
man.
I got
I will
robbed.
say like that there's something weird to me about also the tradition of getting like cookies and coffee or like donuts and stuff after church.
Yeah,
And I'm like, why are they making us do this? And then the reward is like this sugar high.
right.
So it is, and it is, and it's addictive.
Oh, I
So
loved it.
I'm like,
That was my favorite part about
we're
church,
like,
the
what are
cookies.
we programming ourselves to? Yeah. I liked oh my God. I liked being able to have sometimes there would be like a potluck breakfast afterwards and
Yeah,
people would bake like really good, in my opinion, good food. Also, my relationship with food is so messed up.
mine
Disordered
too.
eating
Mine
is
too.
one of my favorite, like,
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure that it has something to do with like just like having access to a huge amount of food like during potluck times. And we did this, we like church hopped. So I went to the net. Oh, when is going? I can be a nuisance.
Sven
Plenty of
says,
Mormons
"Can I be a
say,
nuisance?" Plenty of Mormons.
yeah.
Sven's from
Edmonds.
Belgium, but he grew up with me in Edmonds as well.
Edmonds. Oh my gosh. So Edmonds is also, that's where my godmother lives, who's very Catholic.
Oh yeah,
That's funny. Yeah, she's
that's
like
funny.
extra. She watches Catholic TV and like watches like mass on TV.
Catholics had
So
CYO. Yeah,
yes,
Catholic
CYO. Yeah,
Youth
Catholic Youth
Organization.
Organization. I was on, we did CYC in Spokane, Catholic Youth Conference, and I
Yeah,
was part of one of the leaders that did that shit.
really.
I was one of the
You're
youth cult
lucky. You're in the
leaders.
lucky cults. Todd
Yeah.
was a Unitarian. Wow, that must be
Unitary.
cool.
Okay.
That's kind of
We
cool.
I love religion is so interesting. And again, I did major in philosophy and like went to a Catholic university, but it was the Seattle University in So it's Jesuit. We like learned all about all these different religions. Also, growing up, I loved learning about my friends' different, like, why are you Baptist?
Me
How is
too.
Methodist different? Why is Lutheran different? Also, what's non-denominational?
We had a friend
I
who was
was,
Mormon too, and now he's the Mormon
oh
leader.
yeah,
And we would always
tons
ask
of
him,
Mormon.
we were like, how come you're drinking Pepsi now? And it's like, you didn't drink it before. What's going on? He's like, no, we always drink it. You know,
Uh-oh.
this weird stuff. Or like, one day I said to him, I said, do you think I'm going to hell because I'm not a Mormon? And he said, yes. And it's like, why
Yeah,
aren't you
they always
trying to convince me to be a Mormon then if you think I'm going to hell? That's
because
pretty
there's only a
horrible.
certain number. Oh my God, that's
There's only a
amazing.
certain number. I didn't know that. I guess
Oh, Kamala, you majored in philosophy and theater too.
it
Oh
did.
my God. Okay. Literally, I thought that. Okay, so I literally, my 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 diploma. What is it? What is the thing called? A diploma,
Diploma?
certificate, whatever the thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it says that I majored in drama
Oh, mine
and
too.
philosophy,
Yeah.
which makes me a little sad because this whole time I thought it was theater, but it's drama. But I'm like, is it? Does yours say? I feel like theater is so much fancier. I don't know why I'm using air quotes. Theater is fancier than
I think so
drama
too.
because
I have a degree
yeah.
in theater. No, drama from the University of
Mm.
Washington. And then I have a master's degree in performance from Cal Arts. And I think
Oh,
performance sounds much better, right?
yeah. I still feel like theater sounds the best.
The
Just because
drama just sounds like you're a drama queen. Like you're just always being dramatic.
which also true. Oh my God. I do.
You majored in
I do.
drama? Of course you did.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I did. Can you not tell? I'm like, clearly not doing my job if I
Oh
can't.
my
Oh my
God.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, so silly.
Her
I love
says,
this.
Kamala says
Theater
theater
studies.
studies. Oh, that's pretty
Fancy.
interesting.
See, I feel like that sounds so much more studious than, again, yeah, full of drama. Philosophy is full of drama.
It's so full of
Philosophy
drama.
is basically, okay, like you know how astrology is also kind of like full of drama and
Yeah.
melodrama,
Oh,
if you
for
will. I feel
sure.
like philosophy is
Oh, yeah.
the old school version of what astrology is now. Like,
Remember that Steve Martin joke where he'd say, he's like, yeah, I studied philosophy. I learned just enough to screw me up for the rest of my life.
nice. It is like that too. I can't, there's a lot of philosophy class that I do not freaking remember because it was just just so convoluted that I
Yeah.
was like, I want to understand what you're saying, but
Yeah.
Kant just has too many words
Yeah.
to
It must be
say
tough to study philosophy.
it.
And everybody's got a different kind of take and different viewpoint. And it's so convincing that I would think it would make you just, oh, I don't know what I believe in anymore, which is kind of what
Yeah,
happens in
yeah.
life. It has happened in life for me. As I've gone along, I've gotten less and less certain about what I believe in.
That's
You
how it's
think it
supposed to
would
be. I
get
feel like,
better?
no.
No.
I feel like I want to say the certainty is knowing that you know less and less. I
Yes.
can't Kant. Yes, I can't Kant either. We can't with Kant.
Uh,
Oh my God.
Well, that's
Heidegger's
the thing.
donks. Okay.
Maybe
I'm
that's
sorry.
what happens in the natural progression of life is that you get less and less certain, less and less and less, and then you're just not even certain you exist.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you just like return back into the
Yeah.
atoms from whence you came, sort of.
Matt said he had a
Too
philosophy
bad you went to
professor
philosophy.
doing real work. Man.
Yeah, I do fully I have always felt like philosophy is something that like we're always doing though. Like I just felt natural. It felt very natural for me to just like, oh, let's just tack on a philosophy degree
Yeah.
because like that's what we're doing in all of our classes. Like we're
Right.
just learning more and more and deeper with whatever study we're focused on, which is philosophical.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're
It's like psychology, studying psychology in theater seems like a natural thing to do too.
ooh, very much,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes. I do feel like one of the natural places to go as a theater and philosophy coupling is comedy. I feel like
Yeah.
comedy is a perfect place for both of those together.
I think you're right.
So,
And now we finally brought it back to comedy after an entire show full of cults.
yes. Oh my God, it is 104. Oh my God,
Oh,
I
we have
love
to end
it.
the show. Shoot. Well, Anyway, we'll have to have you on like on a Tuesday or something where we can really shoot the shit about some stuff. But it's been really great having you on, and really
Thank
fun
you.
conversation.
So
And
good to be here, Joel. This was, yeah, it's incredible. Like there's so much good overlap. I would love to be back and to
yeah, okay,
go
cool.
deeper,
Yeah, I think let's
philosophize
go deeper.
deeper.
All right, cool.
Yes.
All right, at the end of the show, I didn't tell you this. There's a dance break. I play somebody playing a cover song, and we just kind of, move around or
good.
whatever, and we say thank you to
Nice.
everybody for being here. Thanks everybody for being here, by the way. It's been
Thank
really fun to
you.
have this really active chat room. All right, dance break time. This is a guy named Carlos Podigi, and he is a one-man band. Check it out. This is a very pertinent song. Means absolutely nothing or means everything. I don't know. He's got the keyboards, the guitar, and the drums. Super ego. Yep. Isn't that appropriate?
Operation taste that's pretty dirty taste that made you be a naughty boy. You let your face grow long.
So awesome.
Great show, Sven. Yeah. Great to see you, Sven. Matt Latimer is a great guy. Shout out to him. All right, see you all later. Yeah.
This was amazing.
Let your liquors down.
I love you too. Thank you so much.